Yes, sir. We are live. We can start.
Dear officers, a very good evening to one and all. Hope, wish, and pray that you are reading good so that you will get success. Having said that, let us continue with a very important topic which we started studying. That is with respect to decision making. So, a very important aspect which you have to keep is the evolution of the things. To begin with, bureaucracy, impersonal organization to execute and the rules regulations, scientific management, one best way based on time and also techniques involved there. Afterwards came the principles approach, the administrative management or the classical thinkers. So in all these cases, there was no element of human. Afterwards, our throne experiments found some things which were shocking. They found that organization efficiency depends upon human relations. So here one point which you have to keep in with respect to human relations is they were not concerned much about any other thing. The reason being this, in fact, our throne studies, human relations, Mayo, they conducted studies to test the Tyler's hypothesis or the principles. So there, some things which were deviating, that is human relation aspect, was highlighted. That is the reason it is said to be human relations. After that, Bernard, Simon, all these people gave more attention to the dynamics of human behavior, not just informal organizations. In human relations, it was more about informal organizations. In a systematic way, behavioral approach gave equal importance to sorry, the formal and informal organization. For the first time, to a greater extent, things like what motivates a worker, when does a worker obliges, accepts the authority, all these things started giving more importance. Then the stalwart with respect to behavioralism came the Simon, the most important. Everything with respect to an organization was linked to decision making. Previously, in principles approach, in scientific management, in all those cases, they said that executive performs many functions like POCC, post-COB, planning, organizing, commanding, budgeting, all these things are the functions of executive. Bernard said that, dear classicals, in planning, you need to make a decision. In budgeting, you need to make a decision. So he considered decision making as the most important thing. He considered organization has a structure of decision makers. In this regard, he gave a very, very important notion of bounded rationality. Rationality is that which is based on the available facts. But the most important thing is, are we aware of all the facts? Do we have that capability? Do we have the necessary time? Say, for example, what is the best way to prepare for civil service examination? One of the constraint will be time. The best way may be like read all the things year by year, the way you get through any academic degree. Say, for example, 3 years. If it is medicine or an agriculture, it is like 4 or 5 years. You're not thinking like that because time is a constraint. So you're not able to make rational decisions. Your decisions are bounded rational. This is one of the concept propounded. After that, there is a small topic with respect to programmed and non-programmed. Programmed are those things which are repetitive, daily happening. Say, for example, a clerk issuing certificates, a clerk collecting the bills. These are routine. Another example, maybe, say, for example, manufacturing. One person brings the cover, another puts some material, another person packs, another person markets. So these are routine, but there may be some non-routine works. Say, for example, problems of customers, problems of students, or a calamity. These are not repetitive. These are new. So there is no standard method. That's the thing which has been highlighted. So what I expect is, dear students, keep all the things aside. I am giving the cream. I am giving the crux. Just repeat those things and remove the keywords and try to interconnect all the topics to that. So as you are aware, like our public administration classes are not just limited to public administration. I'll be mentoring you with respect to most parts of the syllabus. There is a deadly combination which I have already shared, that is with respect to society and social justice, polity and governance, internal security, disaster management, ethics and essay. These are the things which almost have similar syllabus and you should be mastering. After we complete like decision making, communication, other things, everything, whatever we study, I repeat, in your ethics paper, there are, like, to be precise, there are only 4 chapters which are 100% like as it is, not there in your GS syllabus. They are chapter number 1. Very important, listen to me. Chapter number 1 deals with public administration as a subject. I repeat, chapter number 1. This is a very, very important thing. This I was not aware even after I wrote all the mains. I finished all the attempts. I just was reading for chapter number 1. Chapter number 1 deals with public administration as a subject. From zero. It started with Woodrow Wilson's essay in 1887. From then on till date, what is the subject matter of public administration? What does public administration study is the content of chapter number 1. Chapter number 2, administrative thought theory. See, we are taking the most difficult one. You take any subject, whether it is anthropology, whether it is sociology, whether it is political science, they never take thought in the beginning. We also would have taken accountability control, union government, state government, law and order issues. That would have been more interesting. But we don't want to do that. We want to first master the most difficult. That is the reason we have taken administrative theory. In fact, in most of the cases, even like I have come across, since anthropology was one of my optionals also, there they teach anthropological thought, one of the most important one at the fag end. And before that, they teach non-important, though they may be fundamentals, like marriage. Marriage, everybody is interested, different types of marriage, kinship, family. This is in fact not the correct way. Coming back to you, public administration, chapter 2 deals with theory. Chapter 2 and chapter 3 are in continuity. The human relations, what we are studying now, the behavioralism, which is the sophisticated version of human relation, that is what is studied in chapter number 3, administrative behavior. In an organization, what are the things relating to behavior? Definitely, there's a need of communication, which was stressed more by Bernard and also Simon. There's a need of motivation. What motivates an individual? And also the dynamic of organization, that is with respect to leadership, then morale of the people who are studying, staying there, communication control, all these things we'll be studying. A very, very important one, the thought provoking one. After that, you have got chapter number 11, techniques of administrative improvement. These are the only chapters where the syllabus is not exactly repeated in GS. For all the chapters, I repeat, for all the chapters, you have to finish the corresponding portion in the general studies. It is having complementary effect. In some areas, the vastness of general studies topics may be greater than the vastness which we cover in our optional. And they're complementary and questions are of the same nature, right? Decision making. Decision making, a simplified version with respect to decision making may be problem solving. Problem solving and decision making are closely related. There is a standard structure for solving any problem. What is the problem? What are the alternative? Select the best. So in this direction, connecting the things to the ethics paper, where section B has nearly 120 marks. For any case study, I repeat, there may be, I think, 60. Okay. Yes, 60 or 66 case studies are there in all given by UPSC. You have to solve all those case studies. In all these cases, a very important, listen to me, this will change the marks you get with respect to case studies. Traditionally, there are many methods, like who are the actors involved, all these things. So in general, to be specific, you won't get time to write all those things. But let us keep that aside. The best method is, when you are reading a case study, just jot down the problems. What are the problems? In that, identify which is the root problem, which is the immediate, which is a problem which needs immediate solution. Then just solve that. That is it. Why I'm stressing upon this is, UPSC itself in GS4, in the first para, which I have termed that as a preamble. In the preamble, it's clearly mentioned that this is a paper to test the decision making, the problem solving ability of an individual. So there is a problem you have to solve. If you have not solved, you won't get good marks. Is this clear to you? Now coming to decision making with respect to ethics. Which is the best way? Please answer this. What is the best way to master case studies? Please tell me that. Best way. One, I have already told you, you just have to solve all the previous year case studies. Okay, let me give you a very intangible, valuable information also through a question. Which year UPSC case studies are the most important case studies for you? Till 2023, we have case studies. Let me know who will answer. Which year case studies are very important? Srishti has said 2013. Then what about others? Anyone saying that it is 2023? Dear students, it's none other than 2012. In 2013, UPSC first paper was there, but in 2012 itself, UPSC gave 3 model questions. I repeat, these 3 model questions with respect to case studies are very, very important, very pertinent. Nearly, very important, listen to me, nearly 70%. How much? 70% of UPSC case studies are based on these three themes. The model case studies given by UPSC in 2012 are the most important. In fact, they have been repeated as it is also. Is it clear? Okay. Having said that, let's get started in a very systematic way with Simon's thoughts on decision making. I hope and wish you are reading the material which I am giving repeatedly. See, the way I understand the things every time I read is entirely different from what I understood previously. And you should be a thinking machine. In UPSC preparation, those people who think, say for example, after reading a page, who think, they are the people who will be having greater chance than those who just simply read. Okay, let's get started. Now, before I get into this, let me ask you one more question. Among all the theories which we have come across from the beginning, bureaucratic, scientific, classical, human relations, Simon, Bernard, Follett, whose theory is the most important for civil service examination with respect to the weightage of marks? Okay. So Simon, the answer is it is the second best, not Follett. See, what is civil service? What is civil service generally called? If you get service, what are you generally called? Bureaucratic theory is the most important one. Most important one. It is a landmark in the evolution of all the theories. It is made in such a concrete way that till date, it is one of the most researched, most debated. And if at all, like if in any organization, if in any big organization, almost always, I repeat, in any big organization, almost always, they have bureaucratic model. With the coming of ages, computers, information technology, there may be some modifications. But Weberian model is relevant and also it's still working till date. Okay. Decision making very important with respect to ethics paper. In each and every question, you have to show your attitude and your problem solving ability. Here, what is the clue? There is a problem. You have to solve that. If you have not solved all the problems in the case study, you won't be getting marks because this is not what I am saying. It is what UPSC says. Okay. This will be studying two-dimensional taxonomy was used by Herbert Simon to describe the degree to which decisions are programmed and non-programmed. And this also will be studying administrative man, bridges the psychological man and the rational man. So here, administrative man means a person who take decision as an administrator in an organization. What is this rational man? Rational man is one who want to maximize the things. Means in a given position, what is the best? What is the best? That is with respect to rational man. Psychological man is with respect to human relations, all these things. But there is an administrative man who works based on bounded rationality, satisfying decisions, which we'll be discussing. Okay. So please go through all these things and try to write answers, at least like in just 3 or 4 lines. or at least the meaning that will suffice. I hope all the questions which are given for the last 25 years, 30 years in fact, can be answered by the things which I am teaching now. So here, time is the only limitation. I can make the things like a more like a story, but it has got negative effect also. When we give more examples, when we try to make the thing like giving different dimensions, the originality may be lost. Say, for example, there is a concept here. I want to explain that taking Sambhavam as an example. Then the things may not be pretty clear. It may not be the perfect example because we cannot have perfect examples at all. Okay. So, with respect to fact and value, a very important one. This will be there throughout in your society, social justice, in your ethics paper. So value premises judgments and factual judgments. So here, fact premises, the most important thing is, what is a fact? Fact is a truth. Fact is the truth. Fact is a reality. See, like, so let me give an example. Raghu. Raghu is dark. Raghu's hairs are dark. This is fact, right? Raghu is a good man. Is it factual? Please try to differentiate the things. Okay, now let me give another example. Raghu rides the bicycle on the right hand and left hand side. So Raghu is doing right. Another, Raghu gives money to the poor. So he is a good man. So here you can differentiate the things. The first thing is Raghu rides the bicycle on the left hand side of the road. So this is a fact. How? Because we have got laws, rules, and regulations. He's following those things. This can be verified. This can be measured. On the other hand, there are some subjective things. An expression of preference. These are said to be value preferences. Value premises cannot be tested empirically. It can only be subjectively ascertained as valid. How much you love your parents or some other one, this cannot be empirically tested. There is no equation. A plus B is equal to C. Okay, you put this variable, okay, then you are loving 50%. No, there is nothing like that. These are value related things. Value premises are concerned with the choice of the end result. Value premises are concerned with the end result, whereas factual decisions are related to the means or implementing those things. Decision making means choosing one alternative from various alternatives that we have discussed, and stages in problem solving. What is the problem? What are the alternative? What is the best alternative? Here I stress upon a very important thing. You have to apply in case studies. For any case studies, first of all, try to find as many alternative as possible. For any case study, first of all, find as many problems as possible. Just solve them, that will be sufficient. Decision making is usually made within the guidelines established by policy. Policy is a broader one. It's a repetitively used one. On the other hand, decision making is with respect to particular situation. Classicals, they never attach importance to decision making. They never. If at all, if they were attaching importance to decision making only to the extent of delegation of authority. Delegation and authority. And for Tyler, Scientific management was the only one. It was in fact Bernard, afterwards Simon, who championed decision making. What is a decision? So here, this is the one which you have to internalize. Decision making is optimum rational choice between alternative course of action. So here, decision making means a rational choice among the available alternatives. This is a definition. But afterwards, Simon says that rational decisions are not possible. Rational decisions are not possible. The reason may be you may not be knowing the alternatives. Say, for example, take this example. Which IAS institution to join? So it is a decision. You have to make the decision. Or we can say, like, we'll take which in which institution like free IAS coaching is given or anything like that. So which institution to join? So here a person may not be knowing all the alternatives. Majority of the students may not be knowing that there is something like Sambhavam IAS. All may be aware of some top institutions, right? Some top institutions. There, what is the constraint? Money may be the constraint. Time may be the constraint. Choosing one of the alternative, rational choice between alternative course of action is decision making. This is the one absolutely you have to take. Afterwards, can we make rational decisions? The answer is no. We make limited rational decisions. First thing is, we may not be knowing all the alternatives. Even think that we know all the alternatives. There may be time constraint. There may be cost constraint. There may be place constraint. And the organization which is saying that nearly 30% of the students were our students may not be giving the correct information. Yes, this is generally what is happening. If you see the number of students, like nearly, it is said like 13 lakh apply. In that, some 6 lakhs, right? You're not taking care of these things. 6 lakh people write prelims. Afterwards, nearly only 10,000 write mains. After that, nearly 2.5 go to interview. So it's the best method. What is the best method? Just concentrate on this 2,000. This 2,000 students who went to interview. Definitely, there is 1:1 ratio, means out of 2, 1 should get the service. 1:2 ratio they will be there. Just if you train 1,000 students, definitely 50% of the results will be there. These kind of things may not be aware. No one till date, say for example, any institution, they never give this data. Foundational batch. In our foundational batch, how many took the coaching and how many got through? Say for example, many big institutions, let me not name them. There, top 3-4 institution, there the strength is nearly 30,000 total. In that, how many are getting through? So these kind of data are not available. Because of that, you may not be able to take rational decisions. That is what is known as bounded rationality, which we'll be discussing in depth. This is a one definition you have to note down, number 1. Next definition which you should be noting is this: an organization is a structure of decision makers. What is an organization? Is a structure which consists of decision makers. You go anywhere and everywhere. Say for example, if this is an organization, a person here also make decision, a person here also make decision. Anyone in the organization is making decisions. So Simon's calls organization. What is organization? Organization is a structure of decision makers. Because decision making pervades all entire organization and all levels. Okay. Then moving forward, what is administration? Administration is nothing but decision making, according to Simon. He was very critical of the classicals. Classicals said that principles are universally applicable. He said that you first don't know. I repeat, a very important one, a hidden meaning is there. Here he says that before you evolve, before you established any principle, dear classicals, you should know what exactly in an organization. An organization is structure of decision makers. In your basic thought, that is not at all there. Then how can you evolve principles? Before one can establish principles, one must be able to describe exactly how an administration organization looks, how it works. Authority, motivation, communication, these are the things. You never talk about these things. You have no idea, you are ignorant of these things, and you have developed principles. Then they are bound to fail. Okay. Stages of decision making. Now, please do answer. What are the stages of decision making? First, you can just give the names itself. Stages of decision making. Oh, nice. We have got two Srishtis. Srishti. See, you should learn the things here and now. I am explaining each and every word. Okay. Intelligence activity, very good. After intelligence, very good. Design, very good. After design, choice. That's it. That's it. So intelligence activity. What is intelligence activity? Now, what is intelligence activity? One word. Just one word you have to write. 2 words maximum. What is intelligence activity? What is the problem? Finding occasion. Yes, what is the problem? Finding occasion for decision making. Very good. Then next one, design. What are the alternatives? Finding all the alternatives. Choice. Just taking one best alternative. See, the UPSC also, you just have to compare this to case studies. He gives a passage and afterwards he gives the options and asks which is the best. And also recommend any other option which you think are better. In this, which takes maximum time? Which takes maximum time? First, second, or third? Which stage? Very good. First one is the one according to some. Then, so here it is in fact not the first one. It is the second one. See, once again, coming to our own process. डिग्री हो गया डिग्री के बाद क्या करना है विल इट टेक इयर्स टू डिसाइड शादी करना है या पढ़ना है या काम कुछ करना है इट विल टेक सम टाइम afterwards next is finding the alternatives so many like got the things clear when you are in graduation itself how much time you have spent to know the best method what are the possible alternatives how many toppers interview you have seen how many seminars or how many guest lectures you have attended This is the one which takes more. When all the alternatives are known, choice is very easy. Okay. Intelligence activity, first phase in decision making, finding occasions for making decision. This is the one. Please write it down. Intelligence activity, finding occasions to make the decisions. Large fraction of time. Design activity. Here, executive spends still larger. Design activity is about finding alternative course of action. Finding alternative course of action. Second one. How to find the alternative course of action? Inventing, developing, and analyzing the possible course of action. Inventing, developing, and analyzing. Don't bother about these three. Finding the alternative course of action. Choice activity, selecting a particular course of action from the given alternative. Less time. So the least time is choice activity. Highest is design activity. So it is nothing but problem, alternative, and best alternatives. So now, do you think generally this sequence is followed? Do you think generally this sequence, intelligence, design, choice? So some of you may get confused also, so make a acronym, IDC. Yes, definitely, isn't it? First you should know the problem, you have to see the alternatives, right? But here one important thing is, say for example, while designing the things, you may encounter another problem. So this problem once again require another IDC, right? To clarify the thing, to sum up, generally the same sequence is followed, but it is not as simple as it appears. It is a very complex process. Say for example, design activity may involve a sub problem, which further may involve once again IDC. Hope you don't have any doubt with respect to these things. Okay. Models, bounded rationality model. This is one of the most important with respect to Simon. Often asked, like you can see, like majority of the questions asked for the last 25 years are from this one. And it is one of the like magnum opus of Simon's work. So now just listen. We'll try to like brush up the things. We'll try to complete this twice so that you get some concepts inculcated. Also known as behavioral alternative model. So why it is said to be alternative? There is a flood there. This is the alternative route. Means he's showing a new route, a alternative route. Previously, the classicals, they propounded economic rationality model. Economic rationality model. Here, no, that is not the correct. He said that bounded rationality is the correct. So that is said why it is said to be alternate to the classicals model, that is behavioral approach. Simon dealt comprehensively with rationality aspect of decision making. Simon viewed rationality, a very, very important one. You should be like noting this one. What is rationality? What is decision? If you are simply reading without noting those things, definitely you will be preparing in a very wrong way. Rationality, selection of preferred behavioral alternative in terms of values. It is not in terms of facts, it is in terms of values. So here, please answer this question. A decision A decision which is based on values is related to number one, means, number two, goal. Go back to values and fact premises. No, it is wrong. Not means, it is goal. Factual premises is with respect to means. Okay. This is the one. Value premises are concerned with the choice of the ends of the action. Insofar a decision leads to the selection of final goals, they are called value judgments. Factual judgments means that is with respect to the means. Okay. Selection of a preferred behavioral alternative in terms of values, thereby consequences of behavior can be evaluated. This is the definition. And the most important is this: total rationality is impossible. Total rationality is impossible. Now, please do answer why total rationality is impossible in an organization. Please think it over. You have to give points. The same common sense things, you will be astonished by seeing the facts given by Simon. This I already know. Why you cannot make a decision which gives you maximum benefits? Why you cannot judge? Say, for example, let me make this one simple, as I already told you. Why you cannot join the best IAS institution? Why you cannot join? Because one will be know all the facts, may not be knowing all the fact and premises very good. Then so once again, see, go back to the basics. I'm giving you an hint. This we are talking about organization, right? Right? This is your environment. Your environment. First thing is the environment stable? Is the environment constant? Please answer yes or no. Environment, is the environment stable, constant? No. So what is it? It is dynamic. How can you take a rational decision, a perfect decision, when the environment itself is changing? Number one, right? Next comes with respect to organization. Organization objectives, organization goals may change from to time. Say, for example, Sambhavam IAS organization, we started with only foundational course. Afterwards, we started Super 200. Afterwards, we started Vijay Bhava. Many things like that. So our objects, our purposes keep changing, right? Then comes to, say, for example, an individual who is making the decision. He may not be aware of all the possibilities. A teacher, can the teacher make a rational decision? He may not be aware like how much he will be paid in other institution. What is the way to approach? Is there any vacancy? Say, for example, there is an institution, very good institution, and you are a very good teacher, but there is already a teacher teaching. There may not be a vacancy. So here, your individual knowledge, or you may not be aware of all the alternatives, right? Then, say, for example, some like me, they prefer online mode because they may have some family obligations to look after some people. So they cannot go to offline centers. Time constraint, cost constraints. Is it clear? So these are the reasons. So here, an individual is not able to make a rational decision, but he will make bounded rational, limited rational decisions. Means he will be making good enough decisions, not maximizing decisions. Right? So we got one more. Right? Similarly, say for example, a teacher. So here I may teach in any institutions, but say for example, think if I teach in X institution, I'll be getting huge amount of money. I may not be doing that. There may be many reasons for that. To begin with, I may not be knowing all the institutions. So this is what Simon says. Bounded rationality. Simon dealt comprehensively. This we have dealt with. Total rationality is impossible in administrative behavior. Hence, maximum decisions is not possible. Please make a point. Very, very important, very pertinent. The key, the crux. First, number one, total rationality is impossible. Because of that, maximizing decisions is also not possible. Decisions which give maximum profit, maximum utility, not possible. Human behavior in an organization setting is characterized by bounded rationality. Very, very important. There is no total rationality. Since there is no total rationality, there is no maximizing. But in face of total rationality, you have got bounded rationality, that is limited rationality, leading to satisficing, not satisfying, satisficing. So what is this satisficing? A decision which is satisfactory and also sufficing, sufficient enough. अरे मुझे करोड़ों नहीं चाहिए, लाखों में काफी है, मैं ऑनलाइन मेरा घर से पढ़ा के मैं रह लूंगा. I don't want to go to Infosys or Tesla. I'll be in a local factory. That will be enough. It is very near to my house. And also the manager, the supervisor there are in close touch with me. Right? So these are the things. Please note it down. Total rationality is not possible. Arrow mark. Maximizing decisions, not possible. Characterized by bounded rationality leading to satisfying decisions. These are the pairs. Total rationality, maximizing decision. Bounded rationality, satisfying decision. Satisfaction is a combination and is a creation of Simon. Combination of two words, satisfaction and sufficing, sufficient enough. It implies that decision maker chooses an alternative which is good enough, not maximizing the decision. So how many of you understood this one? How many of you got like doubt? How many want to repeat? Is this clear? Very good, very nice. So dear officers, I almost many times I requested you, before a teacher teaches, he should be aware of audience. So I told you like, let me know like from when are you preparing, what you have already read. Do you have any background in public administration? Have you read these things in management? Say for example, if you are from any BBA, anything like, hotel management, business management. In all these things, these are very fundamental and these things will be taught. And when did you start your preparation? What you have mastered? Because that I can tailor my teachings to your level. So please do that. Make a plan for next 1 year. I'm little busy with respect to main students. I'm guiding nearly like 35 students who are writing mains. It's a very, very difficult task. I hope and wish next year you will also be in that league. Okay. To sum up, just listen to me. Total rationality is not possible. So what is the way? Bounded rationality, right? If you take total rationality, maximizing decisions will happen. But this is not possible. This is also not possible. Bounded rationality, decisions are satisfying. That's it. A very simple one, common sense one. Next is factors affecting. Already you have given the factors, but what I request you is please segregate these things because you can even cut and paste the things into organization, into individual, personal. When you differentiate, when you subdivide the things, it will be easy for you to remember. Following factors are responsible for bounded rationality. Factors which are responsible for bounded rationality, same. Factors responsible for satisfying decisions, same. Organizational factors like procedures, rules, channels, communication. Say, for example, civil services. You want to see that welfare of the people is maximized, but there may be procedures, processes, programs are only for some category, not for another category. That may be one of the hindrance. Personal factors of decision maker like preconceived notions. People of this community are very harsh, very cruel. People of this community are very rich. There is no need for them to, no need for helping them. There may be certain habits which prevent you, right? Decision maker may not be aware of all the possible alternatives available and their consequences. When you are thinking of making a decision, joining an institution, you may not be aware of all the alternative. Suppose somehow due to information technology and all these things, you got the information. You may not be aware of the consequences. Alternatives cannot always be quantified in an orderly preference. A very important thing. How? Please answer. How? This is a little apart from the topic. How ethics or values bring about harmony and well-being in individual and also society. How ethics and values bring about harmony, well-being of society and an individual. And listen to me. They they help in quantifying the preferences and ordering them. Taking back to yesterday's example, wife is ill, she needs medicine. Husband has no money. Now, what are the ways available? One is beg, buy, borrow, steal, sell some things, then job. Here, all these things are alternatives, but your ethics, your values help you to order these things. Order is your preferences in a hierarchical order and create a list. So whenever you get a confusion, you can get back to that. But in reality, it is very difficult to quantify these things and order the things. Say, for example, a person, thinks that buying is the best one. So he gives first preference. Afterwards, the next. So here ethics and values give a clear picture. If these things would have been not there, then this person would have been utter confusion. Your ethics and values are helping in decision making. Any work has many alternatives. Which is the most preferred? That is decided by ethics and values. Right? Coming back, alternatives cannot always be quantified into an order preference. You might have found many alternatives. In that, which alternative should be given first priority? Which alternative should be given last priority? It is difficult to do. Environmental factors, external factors, because environment is always changing. Time and cost constraint. Imperfect or inadequate information, as well as limited capacity to process, analyze the available information. First of all, limited information. Second, our ability to process is also limited. The same with respect to philosophy. Can philosophy give answer to all your questions? Please do answer. Can philosophy, I think I am asking this second, third time. Can philosophy give answer to all your questions? Okay, many of you say that no. Great. Why? Why? The answer is correct. Why? Why is that? Philosophy is limited. Okay, very good. Listen to me. What is philosophy? In very simple word, that which is based on thought, which is based on rationality. To simplify, that which is based on reason. Philosophy is that which is based on reason. Our ability to reason is not unlimited. If our ability to reason was unlimited, we would have answered for all the questions. Our ability to reason is not unlimited, so philosophy may not provide answer to all questions. Similarly here, information available is limited and the ability to process is limited. Dynamic rather than static nature of organization objectives. Right? So you have to subgroup them and you have to reproduce these things. Right? Any doubt with respect to these things? These are the factors responsible for good enough decisions, not maximizing decisions. So how to have maximizing decision? You can take clues from here and you can write. We can have maximizing decision when there is no environmental constraints, when there is no time and cost constraints, when the objectives of the organization are fixed, we have got perfect information and we have got the capacity to refine those things, analyze those things, quantify those things. When we don't have any personal organization hurdles. Okay. Administrative man. Administrative man. Who is an administrative man? Administrative man is one who makes bounded rational decisions. Administrative man is one who is making satisfying decisions, not maximizing decision. There are many limitations for making rational decisions. So here, in light of these limitations, Simon propounded administrative man. Simon propounded the model of administrative man against the model of economic man who takes maximum decisions. According to him, this administrative man who is making satisfying decisions is choosing between alternatives. According to him, administrative man in choosing between alternatives, he has got many alternatives. In choosing them, try to satisfy or look for the one which is satisfactory enough. After completing degree, you may have many options: IAS, KAS, SSC, or something bigger. Generally, most of the people go for something, maybe state services, SSC, or any groups. So he is taking those who are good enough, not maximum benefit. Recognizes the world he perceives as a drastically simplified model of the real world. What does this mean? The administrative man, he makes satisfying decision because he realizes, he comes to know that the world he sees is a very, very small, minute miniature of the bigger reality. What is happening in the whole world? He may not be aware. So he perceives the world he is seeing as drastically simplified version of the real world. Administrative man make his choice without first determining all possible alternatives, without ascertaining that these in fact are all the alternatives, because he satisfies rather than maximizes. Administrative man never thinks of all the possible alternatives because he wants good enough decisions. Administrative man is able to make decisions with relatively simple rule of thumb, not based on scientific management, based on his guesswork, his experience, not based on experiment. Thus, satisfying administrative man of Simon is different from optimizing economic man evolved by classical theorists. Thereby, administrative man ends with satisfying, as he does not have the ability to maximize. Right? So, any doubt with respect to this administrative man? If you have got any doubt, please let me know. Right? So, if you don't have any doubt, then next point. So here a very important, and you can take this as a critique. So here Simon says, like Chris Agris says that Simon, by insisting on rationality, has not recognized the role of intuition that strikes in your mind by intuition, tradition, faith in decision making. In fact, he says a very important one. Simon's theory uses satisficing to rationalize incapacity. When you are not able to make maximizing decision, when you are incapable of, then what you are doing, you are bringing the term satisficing. It's like, say, for example, analogy. Often, like you might have come across this one often. So here, say, for example, like fox. You might have heard this one. Okay. A fox. Think that there is a fox here. This is a tree where you have got grapes. Fox tries a lot, but it was not able to reach, it was not able to pluck these things after repeated trying. So, what Fox says, these grapes are very sour, not worth of eating. Like, this is one of the thing. Say this is the one which is generally made. So, if at all, say for example, you want to play cricket, you tried a lot, but you have not succeeded. This is a lazy game. That is the reason I don't play. In the similar lines, Agri says that Simon theory uses satisfying to rationalize incapacity. There are many people like this generally. Hey, even if you give 1 crore, I won't go to IAS. I don't want that. First of all, he is not capable of doing that. Similarly, here, Agris is saying that this is like just to cover your incapacity. And yet another, with respect to Philip Selznick, he and also Long, the distinction between fact and value premises is in a new guess the discarded, discredited politics administration dichotomy and considered bureaucracy as a neutral instrument. So by saying that you have to like base your decision only on facts, there is no place for values. You are considering bureaucracy as a neutral element. And this distinction of fact and values in a new guess is giving rise to or going to the old version, that is politics and administration dichotomy. So this is the very basis on which the public administration emerged. Previously, public administration was part of political science. Political science, public administration. Even today, this is the case in most of the universities. After that, Woodrow Wilson and many made a powerful argument that politics is concerned with policies. Administration is concerned with execution. So politics and administration are not same. So politics and administration dichotomy is there. By saying that, they tried to develop a new discipline, and that discipline emerged as public administration. That is the one which you are studying. He says that the distinction between fact and values revises in a new guess the discredited public administration dichotomy. Right? Then the types of rationality, these are simply very objective one. There's no need for you to give like much importance to these things, but you should be knowing the meaning. Just go through these things. Tomorrow we'll discuss these things once again. First, I want you to analyze these things because these are self-explanatory and the definition is given. If at all, if you get any doubt, please keep those things. I will explain. Then the things will be pretty clear to you. Then coming to the programmed and non-programmed. What is this? Simple. See, in case of program, some things which are of repetitive in nature, some things where the consequences are well known are said to be programmed. So computer program, C program. So these are repetitive things. Non-programmed things are, these are non-routine, non-repetitive, and these are new problems. That's it. According to Simon, decisions are programmed to the extent that they are repetitive and routine. Key thing. What is a programmed decision? A decision which is repetitive and routine. A clerk giving the receipt when you give the money. This is a repetitive one. Automation. They do not have to be treated as a de novo, new one, each time they occur. It is a decision by precedent, means past what you have done. So if you get this, what you should be doing? Say, for example, generally, we make program decisions in our life also. Not feeling well, little like feverish. What you will do? Dolo 650, generally all use. And little headache. What they will do? Vicks. Previously, like Amrutanjan. I don't know whether it was famous in North India or not. Amrutanjan, because I know this because my mother used to use this. Then came Amrutanjan Strong. My mother started using that. After that, they left Amrutanjan Mahastrong. So here, these are programmed. So whenever you are getting little headache, applying Amrutanjan or Vicks, gone. So you are doing those things. Think suddenly some acute pain in brain comes. Applying Amrutanjan or Vicks won't help, right? To sum up, decisions are programmed if they are repetitive and routine. They have got a definite procedure and they are not new ones. There the decisions are taken by precedent, right? Say for example, there is a patient. He says, I have got temperature of say for example 101 Fahrenheit. I'm having cold. I'm having running nose. Okay, doctor observes these things and he prescribes the medicine X. Next, another patient comes with the same symptoms. What does the doctor do? The same procedure. Another, once again, the same. We got a message. Let me see. This kind of modification for things are done only just to get IPR after prescribed time period. Okay, nice. Okay. Then decisions are non-programmed to the extent that they are novel, unstructured, and consequential. There is no cut and dried method for handling these problems because these kind of problems have not arisen because its precise nature and structure are complex because it is not important that it deserves a custom tile treatment. For all these things, you have got non-programmed decisions. See, a devastating thing has happened in southern part of India, the coastal regions. Many of my friends and students are stuck here because of a flash flood or anything. Still, at their home, nearly 3 to 4 feet of water is standing. This is not a routine one. It is not a repetitive one. A earthquake, a flood. When it comes to organization, suddenly, say for example, an institution, IAS institution, is working good. Suddenly, a new corporate IAS institution comes. They provide all the things free. I got wonderstruck by some of the things. Say, for example, many corporate institutions are providing all the PYQs mains answered free, that too in PDF. That was not done generally. In fact, many made their life just by writing these kind of books. When you encounter this kind of competition, definitely you have to change the strategies. Unseen, right? Programmed and unprogrammed or non-programmed. techniques also. Here I want you to use your brain. So here the techniques are given. Please go through these things. Come with doubts. Tomorrow we'll discuss. So this is a very important one. The question is also there, UPSC question. You have to analyze the UPSC question and also the things I have given. Right? So these are the things. Please let me know if you have got any doubt. So one with respect to online coaching, it is one of the best way, and it is predicted like by many as that this is the future course of preparation for all. So way back in I was working in a corporate institution there. Say for example, class starts at 5 o'clock. Some person will come in the fag end 6:30 and he says, "Hi sir, good evening sir." We have to respond. Otherwise, he will give a very bad review on us. Online is one of the best method in my opinion. Right? Okay. Now, okay. Now, please here behavioralism. So in behavioralism, it is an improvised, systematic, sophisticated version of human relations that we have studied. These are the things which I have already studied. See, these are the people whom we will be studying. All these things, especially next chapter, administrative behavior. In fact, the very chapter administrative behavior is based on the book of Simon. His book was administrative behavior. From then on, that is treated as the most important aspect with respect to organization. So all the people will be studying. Okay. This we have already completed. So this is the one. Please read this once. Herbert Simons. Done with. So this is the crux of behavioralism. So here you can notice a very important thing. Here they are making the things more empirical. They want to base everything based on fact, not based on preferences. According to some person, this is the good one. No, objective realities are the things which has to be taken care. Let me read these things. Very simple. Human beings who work in organizations have aspirations and desires. This was the most important lacunae of the classicals. They always thought about organization, never about individuals. Don't I have aspirations? Don't I have desires? Am I just a cog of Sambhavam IAS? I do have my own things. So my perceptions, my behavior, my aspiration, my desires also should be taken into consideration. Their behavior is conditioned by psychology, motives, and social environment. Administrative science should study these facts of behavior. So I repeat, behavior is influenced by the psychology. Behavior is influenced by the motives with which you do. Behavior is influenced by the social environment, your family. You got married. Your wife wants a necklace. Definitely, you have to hit to those things. Can an IAS officer, IPS officer, who will be getting around like 1 lakh and plus, afford for a necklace which is 5 crores? How many years he has to wait? Definitely, why they become corrupt? The reasons are this. Their behavior, corrupt behavior, is influenced by their psych, motive, and also social things. So, in doing those things, there are certain objective things on which we have to base the things. Administrative science should study these facts of behavior without getting involved into the question of values. In doing so, to understand the behavior, you may have to apply the techniques, the methodologies of some of the disciplines like psychology. Why psychology? Why we have to study psychology? Because human behavior, the most important thing on which we are concentrating, human behavior is dependent on, influenced by the psychology of an individual. We have to study sociology. Why? The behavior which we are talking of is conditioned by the social circumstances, the societal things. So you have to study the social and psychological aspects. So these are the features of behavioralism, very crystal clear, self-explanatory. This we have already dealt with, so I'll go little fast here. If you get any doubt, you can ask me, right? It is descriptive and analytical than prescriptive. Prescriptive means normative, maximum good of maximum number of people. This is normative. But based on the facts, based on the analysis, is descriptive. Analytical, it is concerned with the actual behavior of the people in the organization. It deals with the facts of the organization behavior. It believes that the behavior of the people in the organization can be studied and investigated objectively with the intention of developing generalized statement universal laws. Here, one point. This is the one point which has been asked 2-3 times in UPSC mains examinations. There is a similarity between behavioralists and also classicals. What is that? Here, these people are also trying to have universal laws. But here, the basis for this universal law is human behavior. And the basis for these laws is the descriptive and analytical studies. Not any value-based judgments, any rule of thumb, right? So I repeat, this is a very, very important one. This defines the crux, the most important of all. Behavioralism is describing what is happening in organization. What motivates an employee? A IAS teacher. What motivates an IAS teacher? When does a teacher accept the authority? What is the mode of communication? These are the things which they study. They describe and analyze the things. And they are concerned with only those things which are factual. They are not giving value-based judgment. Is this clear to you? If at all, if they say something you have to do, something is good or something like that, that should be based on the research. Emphasis is on informal relations communication pattern among the people working in the organization. It pays more attention to the dynamics of the organization behavior, that is motivation, leadership, decision making, power, authority. So these are the things which we will be studying. More attention to motivation, leadership, decision making, authority. On the other hand, the classical gave more importance to the structure, the hierarchy. It is empirical in methodology. It is based on experiments. So it advocated for field study, laboratory study, and so on. It mainly concerned with quantification, mathematization, and formal theory construct. Based on the observable facts, it tried to quantify the things. What motivates an individual? Not simply giving like it may motivate. No. Study 1,000 people, 1,000 motivated people. What motivates these people? Quantify them, mathematize them, systematize them. It promotes scientific content of the study of administration. Thus, unlike classicals who stressed on the provincial approach, behaviorists stressed upon the universal approach. That is, they claim to explain organizational processes which are common to many kinds of organization. So here, this is the one. So here, don't get carried away by provincial approach and the universal approach. Classical says that their principles of universal application, not the approach. So what is this universal approach? They here in behaviorism, they try to explain organization processes which are common to many kinds of organization. Some processes are common in most. So describing those things. Next, it is interdisciplinary in nature. It draws concept data, perspectives, conclusions from sociology, psychology, anthropology, and so on. Right? Next, the same things again in different form. Once again, these are the repetitions again. Foundation, basic premises, the foundation on which the behavioralism is there. It is given by David Easton. Behavioralism is concerned with discovering some regularities, discoverable uniformities which are present in all the organizations. Discoverable uniformities in human behavior which can be expressed in theories or generalizations, enabling explanation and prediction. What motivates the individual? Study 100 people. In that, there is one uniformity present. So, quantify them and place it. Verification. Here, anything to be considered, it has to be verified. Very, very important. You cannot have something, you cannot take something for granted. Accept only that kind of knowledge which can be empirically tested, which can be physically verified. And they adopted appropriate techniques. As we discussed, quantification, measurement, and manipulation of data in the administrative analysis, but only where possible, relevant, and meaningful. Wherever it is not possible, there is no need of quantification, they won't do. And coming to values, a very important one, give your attention on this one. Being value neutral and separating values from facts are two different things. So the first one, what is this? Being value neutral. Being value neutral means there is no place for your preference. I prefer A over B. I prefer student 1 over student 3. No. It should be based on objective criteria. No place for values. So being value neutral means you are not putting your own things, your own judgment. That is one part. On the other hand, separating values from fact. Say, for example, there are many alternatives or many things. In that, you have to identify and you have to separate What are these alternatives which are based on fact? 90% of the students who took enrollment in Sambhavam IAS got IAS. That is fact. Students of Sambhavam prepare good. That is not fact. That is very subjective one. So here, to have a clear-cut idea, you have to separate the things which are related to preferences and which are related to facts. Systematization. Both, there is a need of both research and theory building. Both research and theory building must be systematic and be viewed as intertwined parts of an organization, inseparable parts. Means here you should have research component also. In research component, you will be finding new things. In theory building, based on the research what you have done, you bring certain quantification, mathematization. Then establishing a link between theory and application. Establishing a link between theoretical understanding of administration and applications knowledge into problem solving. They propounded that a behavioral approach is a pure science, which is having both theoretical components and also application to solve the problem. Integration, it is interdisciplinary focus, facilitating cross-fertilization of concepts and theories among the social sciences. When there is cross-fertilization, the progeny will have high vigor. You bring the ideas from sociology, psychology, anthropology, you cross-fertilize those things, definitely you will have a good progeny. What is a hybrid? What is a hybrid? So to break your monotony, a simple question. You might have heard the term hybrid often. What is a hybrid? Listen to me. Hybrid is the cross between two distinct parents. Hybrid is a cross between two distinct parents. Mix of two genes, very nice, but it's not just mix of two genes. Any mix of genes may not be. Opposite of hybrid is pure line. When parents are same, similar, it is said to be pure line. What is the say take home? Say for example, person from Africa, father, and person from say for example China, mother. Their progeny is said to be hybrid. A cross between two distinct parents leads to hybrid. This hybrid has a lot of vigor, hybrid vigor. And this is one of the social problem also, since we practice marrying within our caste, within our subcaste. You might have seen, say for example, if there is a community where there is only interbreeding within this community, the progenies are not that are not having that vigor. So here integration of the things are needed. Okay. Main characteristics, the same here once again, said in a different way by Smithberger. Okay. Let me just go through these things. Since we have covered these things, and this is once again repetition, I'm going little fast. If you don't understand anything, please let me know. And I request you, like, at least please let me know what your doubts within 1 or 2 days. Say many times it does happen. Like I'll be in chapter number 10, then suddenly one person, like he starts public administration with my first videos and he gets some doubt. So here, not that I don't want to answer. The thing is, here it becomes very difficult. Say, for example, if you like post any doubt to me, I can answer in next class. If you ask any doubt on a message or anything, simple typing of a message may take 5 to 10 minutes. And not only that, I too have to revise. I too have to refer. Right? Okay. According to him, what are the things? So behavioralism place increased attention to individual and his relation with the administrative organization. So in this direction, these things are very pertinent and logical. These are based on the more realistic study of the nature of authority, decision making, and motivation. The earlier attempt, they did not consider all these things. Administrative organization is considered as a social system. What is a system? Please answer. What is a system? What is a system? System, okay. General meaning. System is one where all the components are interconnected, interrelated. Is the point clear? We call something as a system only when all the parts are interconnected and interdependent. Say, for example, our body. Our body is a system because they are all interconnected, right? Here, administrative organization is a social system, and that is the reason they gave equal importance to both formal and informal organization. Earlier approaches study the formal and rational relations only. What is the meaning? They studied only the relations which emerge in an organization, super subordinate relations. Then they gave more attention to the communication because organization is a social system. There the things can happen only when there is good communication. It gives more attention to the communication as it described administration as a complex aggregate of human relations. Is a structure of decision makers, right? Moreover, it gives more attention to the informal means of communication in public service rather than the formal ones. Earlier approach, only formal ones. Here, it replaced the theory of sovereignty with that of legitimacy. Traditional theory of sovereignty gave birth to theories of hierarchical structure, line of authority, chain of command, delegation. Means a person who is there in one position, he's sovereign. He can give the orders whatever he want. This needs little elaboration, though we have discussed many times. According to classical theory, see at the top, think that there is a chief secretary or a cabinet secretary or an IAS officer in the district. So he is thought to be sovereign. Because of that, there is a hierarchical structure, there is a line of authority, chain of command. On the other hand, the behavioralist gave not on sovereignty, emphasis on not on sovereignty, but on acceptance. New theory of legitimacy, on the other hand, has increasing tendency to analyze the reason why given person feel that they must obey the order, why somebody is accepting the order, why a subordinate is accepting the order. This is the reason why behavioral approach emphasizes on administrative leadership, motivation, communication, and so on. Right? So after that, like you have got simple ones like contemporary research in administrative behavior. They have into 4 categories according to Simon, and contributions. Here exclusively these things are mentioned in your syllabus. Chris Agris, McGregor, and Leichhardt will be studying all these things in depth. And in addition, Maslow's theory of need, Hasberg's motivation, the hygienic factor will be studying. Not only that, many leadership theories also will be studying. Right? So please go through these things, and also landmark contributions in the administrative thought by behaviorism. What are the things it contributed, and also go through the critics. So tomorrow I'll be explaining all these things. Right? So, dear officers, how is the Josh? How is your confidence? What is your problem? What is standing between you and IAS? What is your plan? It is well said that plan or perish. So, do plan, do the things in a very systematic way, finish one by one. So, here, like often students make one big mistake. What is that? UPSC ka tayari. So, UPSC ka tayari. What are you doing? He is reading economics, he is doing polity, he is doing ethics, he is doing even science and technology, he is doing optional. And afterwards, after 1 year, what you have mastered? Sir, I am confused, I don't know what I am doing. Instead of that, one by one, master one, and just after that, just leave it. That's it. Master another one. Afterwards, leave it. This is the way how toppers make. Is the point clear to you? You also will you take revision classes for ethics? I will try. In fact, I was very much interested, but somehow like public administration is the most important thing, because that is the one which has not been done. So definitely I'm thinking on that line. What I thought was, in fact, 20th you have got an essay paper, 22nd you have got ethics paper. So you should be writing those things in examination condition. So for that, what I thought, like a session where I'll be teaching a chapter. Afterwards, you will have a test, 1 hour test, 1 hour discussion. Then once again, a chapter. A chapter won't require much time. It's in a simplified in a way. I, afterwards, 1 hour test. Afterwards, discussion. This would have been very good for you with respect to answer writing and also the other developments. And afterwards, you have to take. This is a very important one. See, whatever may be this, if you are not doing, almost you are not following any of my guidance. 20th, you have essay paper. Please do write in examination condition at home, because by the end you will be having the questions. 21, GS1, GS2. 22, GS2, GS3, GS4. Please write them. Write them in examination condition, number one. Number two, after that, take time and write. See, आपका पॉलिटी किधर भी नहीं जाएगा. This is the festival. This is the UPSC festival which you have to make the best use. And afterwards, next weekend, we also have like regional languages like Kannada and also English. Please do take these two things. Very, very important. Because English medium students find regional language difficult, and those who are writing in regional language, they find English difficult. I repeat, nearly 10 to 20% of students fail in language paper. It may be astonishing for you, but that is the truth. So I request you to take this 5 and this 2 exam. This is the real answer writing where you won't get anywhere. And in fact, as it is made explicitly, very important, listen to me. This is an examination for a well-educated person. So no need to bother that whether you have prepared or not. First, try to give the answers. You will come to know. If you write the answer, you will come to know. In ethics paper, the most important thing is not with respect to the concept, you completing the paper. It is not at all possible to complete the paper because the paper is intentionally given less time. Why is that so? When you have given sufficient time, your rational thought, your cognitive things come into play, and your attitude may not be reflected if sufficient time is given. If time is less, what is there? What are attitudes? Attitudes are mental predispositions. Your mental predispositions will come into play. So time is restricted in all the things. That is the one. Until and unless you write an exam in examination condition, you won't be having a fair idea as to how to prepare. I have written more than 10, 15 mains examinations, UPSC and state. The most important thing is time limitation. Out of the 20 questions given, nearly 90% of the students answer only 17 or 18. Even toppers, they answer only some 16 to 17 full time, and also in 10 minutes, they just scribble 2, 3 lines. That's it. So here, what is the hint? What is the take home? There is no need for you to do research. Stick to the basics. Questions are 10 markers, 15 markers, and 20 markers. For them, if you know the answer, if you write, that is more than sufficient. Right. So any other thing, please let me know. Okay. Okay. If you don't have any other doubt, let me wind up the session. Have a great day. Enjoy your preparation. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.